Hello guys and welcome to another video. Today we'll be doing how to improve at chess. There are many ways to improve at chess, and I figured that videos that show you how don't give you the full depth of how to improve. They give you things like opening traps when you know opening traps aren't gonna help at higher levels. So the first way to improve at chess is by playing many games at a pace where you feel comfortable. These should be games at around 15 plus 10 minimum, meaning a 15-minute game with 10 seconds added after your every move. This is so that you could use your time to think carefully about every move that you're playing. Like, why did I move this? How does this affect my position? Is there any meaning behind this move? Are there any checks, captures, attacks in the position? Just remember that losing is always a possibility and that you shouldn't frustrate yourself over it. Secondly, is analyzing your games. Analyze your games, preferably with a coach or someone at a higher level than you, or more or less the same level as you too. This is because they can hold you accountable and compare their thinking of the position to yours. I recommend that you don't use an engine during your analysis, otherwise your thoughts would be guided by the inputs, by the engine's output instead of yours. You will need to go through the game move by move and explore other options. For example, playing out lines with yourself and then checking with the engine if you were correct or if there were any other alternatives. Then after you go through the game move by moves, go to like a critical position where you need to evaluate the position, meaning who is better in this position and why. For example, let's take a look at this position in the Greco Gambit, where instead of bishop takes c3, over here, black plays knight takes c3. And here you play bishop a3, black takes on a1. So who would you say is better here and why? I'll give you guys like 5 seconds to pause the video, see who's better, why are they better. You could post it down in the comments. I'll tell you the solution in a bit. Okay, so here white is obviously better. Yes, you lost the rook on a1, but first off, white, I have 3 reasons on why white's better. First off is piece activity. White has 4 active pieces ready to pounce on the black king, as well as a 5th incoming piece. White is fully developed after rook e1. Black has barely any pieces developed. Secondly, king safety. White's king is cozied up on g1 while black's king is stuck in the center. There's many tactical weaknesses, let's say. Black's king cannot castle because of the bishop we put on a3 a move ago. Let's say in this position you don't find the right move, and let's say you play knight g5 for example. This is where you lost the game after various other moves. So now let's say you know knight g5 is the wrong move. Why? Because you blunder your queen. Okay, go back. What was a better move, or why was knight g5 wrong? Because you blundered your knight. Now, it's all a matter about what was the better move in the position. For example, you could think knight e5 was the better move, but it's actually black who's winning here with a -3 advantage for black. So you now know knight e5 is the wrong move. What about queen takes a1? Queen takes a1, knight e7, d5 castles, the position is equal, you have now blundered away all your advantage. The best move here is rook e1 check. Why? Black cannot move his king is trapped. He doesn't want to lose his queen. His only move is knight e7. So now after you find rook e1, what is the best move? Black's king is very open in the center. He can't move anywhere. He moves here. He moves to f7. You have bishop takes e7 check, picking up a queen. So what is the best move here that basically black loses on the spot? The best move here, rook takes a7. Black has to give up the queen. If he doesn't and he goes to f8, then you have rook takes f7 check, king g8, rook takes d7, checkmate because of the two bishops. So now it's about analyzing why you lost, how you lost, and what was the better move in the position. That's what I mean by game analysis. A second way to improve your chess is by puzzles. Puzzles train your calculation, visualization, and evaluation, which are essential skills of chess. The goal of puzzles is to find the best move, which usually win a winning position or draw a losing game. I recommend doing puzzles on Chess Tempo, but there is also no problem doing them on lichess or chess.com as well. Try to be consistent with these puzzles. What I mean is try at least solve 10 puzzles every day. For example, if you fail a puzzle in which you spend less than 30 minutes in, you're going too fast. Slow down, take at least between a minute and 15 minutes at most to do a puzzle. For example, I have a puzzle I found here on lichess. Oops, you're not supposed to see that. So here it's a 2700 rated puzzles. Obviously lichess and all the other platforms have their own puzzle ratings, so none of them would be complicated as this. I just thought that this was a good puzzle to show, for example. So how do we solve a puzzle? Here's quite a puzzle that I got from lichess. It's a bit complicated. So here it's black to play and win. To solve a puzzle, you need to look at the position of your pieces. Where are your pieces? Where are black's pieces? Who is better in this position? For example, where you analyze your games. Who here is better? Whose pieces are more active? King safety. As you can see, black's king is quite weak because of the knight here. As it just happens, the best move here is queen h7, queen h2 check, not h7. And black plays queen f7. Now, puzzles usually are about winning a piece, forcing moves. For example, here you know your only winning move is queen h1 check. Why? It's forcing. It moves the king. It moves the king away. Okay, now king f1. Because the king is open, we're looking for forcing moves, meaning that moves white has to react to. For example, you may be thinking rook d3. Well, this is immediately losing because the queen takes d3. But if rook takes d3 and rook f6, white just goes back to f3 and you have blundered away all your advantage. The only forcing move here is queen h1 check. After queen e2, king e2, which is the only move black can play. Again, there is only one move. You may have thought about queen takes g2, but after king b1, it's actually white winning this position because now white's king is just going to hide away on g1, and you can't even attack him anymore. The rook is protected, queens are seeing, so you'll possibly have to trade the queens. There is no forks or knight jumps anywhere, you're simply losing. The only winning move in this position, which is a brilliant find, is rook takes e6. A brilliant move. Because after knight takes e6, then you play queen takes queen takes g2. The difference here is that the knight no longer protects the rook. So after king d1, you have queen takes f3. Or if rook takes rook, or after rook f2, you still have queen takes f2, king d1, and you're winning in this position. According to the engine, it's about minus 5.1. So now, obviously, this is not a puzzle you could get in like maybe 1-2 minutes of thinking. For example, why? It's because it's 2700. I recommend doing puzzles around your level. Lichess and all of them have puzzle ratings in which they give you puzzles according to your rating. Another way of improving your chess is to analyze master games. Now you may be asking, why should I analyze master games? Masters of the games know exactly how to play. By analyzing them and knowing why they made these moves, you can maybe input some of their ideas into your own games. For example, if you want attacking games, you could analyze games from Bobby Fischer, Gary Kasparov, Mikhail Tal, etc. If you are endgames, go to players like Magnus Carlsen. If you want to analyze positional games, you could check out players like Capablanca, Karpov, Petrosian, etc. Another way to improve your chess is by endgames. Endgames become more important the higher the rating and the longer the time control. They can be distinguished as practical endgames when there's many pieces on the board, for example, however your queens are exchanged, or theoretical endgames, which are simple enough that they can be found in a book. Practical endgames require some principles, but otherwise they are mostly calculations. And other than that, we can sort endgames into rating ladders. For example, at the beginning of your chess career, you would need to learn endings such as the ladder checkmate with 2 queens or 2 rooks or a rook and a queen. You need to learn how to mate with a king and queen and a king and rook. At around plus minus 1200 chess.com rapid, you're going to be encountering more endgames. So you'll need to learn basics such as opposition, king activity, key squares, how to draw versus rook pawns, etc. At around 1600 chess.com, theoretical endgames start occurring, with cases such as the Philidor, the Lucena, and other basic rook endgames. At around 2000 chess.com, theoretical endgames are common. There are many books that assist with endgames. For example, Silman's Complete Endgame Guide, 100 Endgames You Need to Know, etc. Now, to improve, you're going to need to make a training plan. So, I have a sample training plan that I found on chess.com's Discord. So 30 to 75% of your time must be intentionally playing games. Blitz, bullet, unrated, and unanalyzed games don't count. The minimum time control should be 15-10 so that you could think about your moves, take your time, think at a comfortable pace. 5 to 15% of your plan should be analysis. 10 to 40% of your time should be spent doing tactics training, meaning puzzles, etc. 10 to 25% of your plan should be about theoretical study. For example, basic endgames, pawn structures, etc. And yeah, that's it for now. If I've missed anything, please tell me in the comments below. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, that was Chess with me.